The fair tax plan is a national sales tax that treats every person equally and allows American businesses to grow while generating the same tax revenue as the current tax code. Under the fair tax plan, every person living in the United States pays a 23% national sales tax on purchases of new goods and services. Fairtax.com says that the rate is equal to the lowest current income tax bracket, which is 15%, combined with employee payroll taxes, which is 7.65%, both of which would be eliminated. There are many reasons why the fair tax plan would benefit not only the government, but current taxpayers as well. The first and major reason everybody would benefit from fair tax is because everyone would pay their fair share and keep their entire paycheck. According to Yahoo, in 2007, about 16% of Americans were in non-compliance with their taxes. This means that of the 228 million United States adult residents in 2007, about 36.5 million people were not paying taxes. Every year, tax evasion costs taxpayers an average of $2,500 each. With fair tax, all persons living in the United States would pay taxes, whether they are here legally or illegally. Under our current tax system, many non-citizens do not pay income taxes or payroll taxes, even though they are here earning wages and are legally required to do so. Under the fair tax, both lawful and unlawful residents will pay taxes when they purchase goods and services for consumption here. Fair tax would also bring jobs back to America by allowing companies to operate on our soil tax-free, rather than paying the corporate income tax of 35%. With fair tax, there will be higher economic growth, more jobs, and higher wages. For the first time in recent history, American workers will get to keep every penny they earn. By eliminating federal income taxes and payroll taxes, the salary or hourly rate would be what is brought home. The next way everyone would benefit from fair tax is that all legal United States citizens would receive a prebate and would only pay taxes on what money is spent. The fair tax provides a program called a prebate, giving legal resident households an advance refund at the beginning of each month, so that purchases made up to the poverty level would be considered tax-free. With the fair tax, all Americans consume what they see as necessities of life to be tax-free. Without exemptions to the fair tax, people will be provided a monthly universal prebate to ensure that each family can consume tax-free at or above the poverty level. This would not be an entitlement, but a rebate in advance of taxes paid. Everyone would pay the same taxes at the cash register. And although everyone pays the same taxes at the cash register, the effect of the prebate is to increase the tax rate as the level of spending increases. Fairtax.org gives this example to better explain the prebate. A person spending at the poverty level, which is considered to be $30,260 for a family of 4, has a 0% effective tax rate because the annual prebate of $6,960 refunds all of the taxes paid. Whereas someone spending at twice the poverty level has an effective tax rate of 11.5%, and so on. Annual spending would have to be in excess of $14 million per year to reach the statutory rate of 23%. The prebate prevents an unfair burden to low-income families. Americans would have more control over their financial destiny. If you're thrifty, you'll pay less taxes than somebody who is not. Basically, everybody will be taxed fairly. The final reason that fair tax is a great choice is because Social Security and Medicare funding would not change, and the IRS will no longer be needed. The fair tax actually puts Social Security and Medicare on a more solid foundation. Instead of being funded by taxes on workers' wages, under the fair tax, they will be funded by taxes on overall consumption by all residents. Under the current tax law, Social Security and Medicare funds are taxed 3 separate times. When payroll taxes are initially withheld, when those withheld payroll taxes are counted as part of the taxable base for the income tax purposes, and when the promised benefits are finally received. Employers will still continue to report wages for each employee, though, to the Social Security Administration for the determination of benefits. There will be no use for the Internal Revenue Service. There will be no more complicated tax forms, deadlines, and individual audits. The taxes will be collected by retailers as they do now with other state taxes. These taxes will be turned into the United States Department of Treasury. The retailer and the state will both receive a small fee for their collection services. By eliminating the IRS, it would save taxpayers a pretty penny. The compliance burden is the total time and money wasted on filling out tax forms, keeping records, and learning tax rules. According to Commerce Clearinghouse, since 1913, when income tax began to be enforced, the number of pages of tax code, regulations, and rulings that individuals and businesses must comply has grown from 400 pages to 67,204. And according to a detailed study by the Tax Foundation, individuals and businesses spent an estimated 6 billion hours complying with the federal income tax code at an estimated cost of over $265 billion. The Tax Foundation also projects that by 2015, compliance costs will go over $482 billion. In conclusion, the fair tax plan is a better choice than our current system. Under the fair tax plan, everybody residing in the United States will pay a 23% national sales tax on purchases of new goods and services, while eliminating the income and payroll taxes currently being paid. This will force everybody living in the United States, legally and illegally, to pay their fair share of taxes. Taxes will be paid on the money spent instead of the money earned. Social Security and Medicare will be on a better foundation than they are right now, and taxpayers would not have to accommodate the IRS anymore with funding. There are a number of ways that fair tax will be effective for both the government and individual taxpayers. We just have to enforce it. Thank you.
Very informative. Let's just see if it ever